snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, flag football, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
From the home of the Warriors, Wantagh High School, Cold Spring Harbor makes the trip from the North Shore to take on a team that would like to be kings of the South Shore. It's Cold Spring Harbor Wantagh right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Today's Nassau County Power Conference Showdown is presented by Orlin and Cohen. Well, a pleasant good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Butler alongside Tom Rooney, who just gets accolades everywhere he goes through windows or press boxes. Tom, fun one here today, right? You've got a Cold Spring Harbor team that's still trying to get out of neutral a little bit, right? They've been up, they've been down. So they're looking to get a good stretch of games. They certainly had an emotional win, a last-second win against Syosset, against a Wantagh team that is one of the talks of Nassau County in the early season. Like, if you just thought they'd be a C contender because Manhasset and Southside are in the Bs, you'd be wrong. They already beat Southside this year. That's a signature win. They're looking for another one here today.
Yeah, we'll start with Cold Spring Harbor. This team is good, right? They just have to find a way to put it all together through an entire game. They play stretches where they look like Cold Spring Harbor from years past. I mean, they're really balanced, a lot of scores. They've just been really inconsistent, and Coach Bond talked about, trying to eliminate that inconsistency. Wantagh, to me, is one of these teams that has a chance. And I mean, not just at a county title and a Long Island title, but beyond. They are really, really good. They're really balanced. They have a ton of scoring. They're good in the goal. They're very athletic on defense. This is a team to watch, I think, statewide.
We're taking a look at Cold Spring Harbor warming up now. And as you mentioned, right, coming off a dramatic 10-9 win over Syosset at home under the lights. A game there, Ryan McGloin scored a pair of goals, including the winner as time expired off an unbelievable feed from Sammy Bruno. But that's like the up now. It came off of a down. So Dennis Bond is kind of hoping for obviously a little more consistency now as this season goes on. But we look at their impact players now, and certainly, Tom, a couple of guys who have risen to the occasion this year. On the left, it is part of their attacking trio, Andrew Mazzi and Hunter Ulico, doing big things on the back end.
Yeah, Mazzi is a lefty. He's very crafty. He's very quick. He's got a quick first step, quick release on his shot. Just has a knack for finding open space and being able to free his hands and score. And Ulico is a really physical defender. I love the way he plays. He's going to have his hands full. Wantagh has three really good attackmen.
So Cold Spring Harbor entering this game 6-3 on the season. Wantagh 5-3, and they're coming off actually a loss to Massapequa, a team where James Polo, their head coach, said they're the older brother, we're the little brother. We're trying to punch up to their level. But Joe Fazio, 4 goals. Michael Giannotti had a terrific game in the cage, 15 saves in that one. And it's one of those where Polo said, listen, we're not going to get too up or down. We're trying to maintain that same level throughout. So it's a 1-goal loss, not the worst thing in the world, certainly, for Wantagh. But listen, they are super, super talented. You heard Dennis Bond in our conversation talk about how much respect he has for this team. And like, listen, Mike's Underground, right? We just did a review of them at St. Anthony's. They've got the ingredients for like a really good pizza. Right. These guys have the ingredients for a really good team, from the goal out, face off, dynamic attack, all of it.
Yeah, they really do. I think they're as balanced a team as that I've seen so far. And they also have, like, the guy, okay? I mean, Jake Martini is a guy that can take over a game. And whenever you get into these tight playoff game types of situations, and he's obviously one of our, impact players, Jake Martini is a guy that can take over a game. Super athlete, headed to West Point, just a wonderful player.
Yeah, if you're a Martini on this team, and there's 3 of them, 2 brothers, 1 cousin, you've combined for 69 goals on the year. And a guy on the other side who James Polo think could have a really big game here against Cold Spring Harbor is TJ Carlo, long stick midi. Excellent
Player, really, really long, but he's physical and athletic. He's all over the field. You're going to see him on wings, and my guess is he matches up with either Bauer or McGloin coming out of the box.
Yeah, fun matchup there for Carlo. And we take a look now at the starters for both of these teams. First, for the visitors from Cold Spring Harbor, what you like here is, even though there's a search for consistency, Dennis Bond is consistent with his lineup, right? He wants these guys to work it out. He's not trying to put different things in and try different things. So you see it's really largely an unchanged lineup from the one that we saw earlier this year.
Yeah, we know Dennis Bond is a really accomplished coach. He's not going to panic. He's coaching, right? He's going to roll these guys out. They're rolling out the same lineup, and it really is a good lineup. They got to find more consistency through the game.
We saw Mozzie. We mentioned him in the open. Kevin Burns, Roy Testa up front. Your first midfield line of Bauer, McGloin, and Bruno, who will be facing off today at long pole. It's Cole Newman, and a pretty solid close D as well, with Timmy Pisano, Hunter Ulico, Jimmy Howell. And in the cage for Cold Spring Harbor, James Grego, 55.5 save percentage. Football guy, was a backup last year. See the numbers on this year. We have a matchup of 2 of the bigger goalies in Nassau County. Love it.
Love it. Yeah, Grego takes up a lot of cage. He's got good hands. He's a good player in there.
And that's the Seahawks of Cold Spring Harbor. And there's the head coach, Dennis Bond, 25th season at the helm, a 1984 graduate of Sewanaka High School, 346 career wins for Dennis Bond. Of course, Christian Lynch, Paul McDermott, his assistants. And, you hear a lot about the Belichick coaching tree. Well, how about, he's a guy who played for Tom Flatley. Doc Doherty gave him a job. He was the JV coach at Garden City. George Powers at Nassau Community, Rich Donovan, John Danowski at Hofstra. So he's been around some of the best.
Yeah, he says flat out, I've stolen everything that I do. He's been around great coaches, but that's normally the case when you got a great coach like Dennis. And Dennis is a great coach, and he's probably pumped out a whole bunch of guys that have worked with him, including Mike Hungerford, our buddy. He's fantastic. He runs a really, really good program, 6-time state champion. He does a great job.
We'll take a look now at the host Warriors of Wantagh and their starting lineup. You've got Luke Martini, the 8th grader, with 22 goals on the season. Dylan Martini, the junior, the Albany commit, along with Devin Passione, really, really talented sophomore. Your first midfield line of Jake Martini, Joe Nicholson, and Carter Loftman. We'll get to the face-off X in a moment, as it's Will Greaves, one of the better face-off guys in Nassau County. Your close D, Patrick Forkover, Mario Iannella, Thomas Conway. And in the cage, they call him King Conklin, another big-bodied but really agile goalie.
Yeah, I love Kyle. I mean, he is a great kid. He's such a big presence in the cage. You can see him there. He takes up so much cage. It's really hard to shoot. When you catch a ball and you're looking at where do I shoot the ball, he takes up a lot of cage, and he's lefty, which is always a little twist for guys.
The head coach of Wantagh in his 6th season is James Polo, 1997 graduate of that school a little bit down the block, Seaford High School. He was the head JV coach, assistant varsity coach under John Schiffo. Has been teaching physical education in the district for 21 years, also coaching varsity girls soccer and boys bowling. Very invested here in the Wantagh student athlete.
Yeah, Polo's doing a great job here. He has a really good team, a young team, and he's kind of been with these guys, and this is an exciting time to be involved with Wantagh boys lacrosse.
Absolutely is. We'll take a look, Tom, now at the keys to the game. Of course, as we spoke with both head coaches ahead, Wantagh, listen, it's about getting a good start, but also maintaining that, right, through 4 quarters.
Yeah, they know they're good. They have a lot of guys, but you gotta get out to a good start. You don't want to get in a hole against anybody. They know the Cold Spring Harbor guys are going to battle, right? So they got to win this ground ball battle. And if you're Cold Spring Harbor, they haven't faced off great, and Greaves is very good, which you'll talk about in a minute. So they want to face off and just, scrap enough to get some more possessions, and then they got to clean up the clearing game and just be a little bit smarter with the ball, especially down the stretch.
Yeah, there were situations in that Syosset game, like they've got the red flag up to not go, and they go, and then you have a penalty off a face-off. Like, they let Syosset get back, and they were up 9-5 going into the 4th. Right. And it became a dogfight. Yeah,
uncharacteristic of Dennis's teams, but you remember he graduated a lot of guys off a very good state championship team, so you're playing new guys, and when you do that, you're going to make mistakes.
It is Cold Spring Harbor. It is Wantagh. It's a fun Power Conference showdown on a Friday afternoon. Opening face-off when we return right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Dante! Does
Terrific
it again!
Defensive play. Dante Mazzaro. Killico! Ties it up! Move by Tieso! Steps up and score! And a jump shot for Nell!
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
We welcome you back to Wantagh High School. Dylan Butler, Tom Rooney, our entire Varsity Media crew, ready now for the start of this Power Conference showdown. And it's at the Face-Off X and Will Greaves for Wantagh. The Adelphi commit 66.2% on the year. Sammy Bruno, this is not his craft, if you will, Tom, right? But still just under 50% this year.
Yeah, Bruno's a great athlete. They use him there to kind of scrap it up, and he'll have his hands full with Greaves, who's excellent.
And Greaves, this is what he does, right? And a real technician at the Face-Off X, as Wantagh now getting their first offensive unit on. It's Joe Nicholson, the sophomore. Just a workhorse for these Warriors. And that's what James Polo kind of echoed the same about a few guys, right? Like, this is what you like about these guys. They bring their hard hats to the field every single game.
Yeah, the middies on Wantagh are not afraid to get back in the hole and play defense. That you're going to see different guys on the wing getting after ground balls. They're tough kids. They're athletic, and they are going to battle you all game.
That's Martini feeding it to X. Going from there, turning inside is Passione. And Wantagh takes the early lead.
Devin Passione, only a sophomore, but he's really, really skilled. Two-handed player. The son of a coach. His father, the head coach at the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. And you're going to see him here take a feed from Martini. And obviously Martini is going to get a lot of attention. And you're going to see just a show there. And Passione takes advantage, comes around, and sticks it lefty. Good offense.
And I like, too, that he looked pass first and fired in his 13th goal of the year. Wing play involved for the second face-off win for Wantagh. And that's Luke Martini. Losing it. Good stick check defensively there for Cold Spring Harbor.
That's Ryan McGloin. Excellent two-way midi. Coach Bond mentioned if you had to draw up and create a two-way midi right in the lab, Ryan McGloin is what a two-way midi would look like. And if you're Cold Spring Harbor, that's how you have to battle. You're not going to win a ton of face-offs, so you got to try to ride some back.
And here comes Alex Bauer out of the box. Michigan commit had a battle an injury early in the season, missed some time. So his numbers aren't what you would think they'd be, but also collectively, I think across the line, this part of the field has been difficult for Cold Spring Harbor this year.
The offense just hasn't flowed the way it normally does there, and they obviously have some really good players, and I think they'll find their groove. This kid is somebody that you want the ball in his hand. Nice save.
Yeah, Bauer goes high to high. Conklin the save, but Cold Spring gets it on the ride back. A lot of physicality, and Conklin gets it in his stick.
Yeah, nice job by Cold Spring Harbor riding it back, but Wantagh stays with it, and now they got to clear the ball.
Nice one, pole to pole, Carlo. And now they push it ahead. And there's Nicholson. Sophomore, listen, if there's a ground ball out there, he's going after it. So this is one of the better, more fun matchups, right? He and McGloin, both of those guys with a similar DNA, if you will, to go after balls and just play as hard as you can.
And we talk about, how Wantagh is kind of poised. You have right here Carter Loftman, a sophomore, right? You have Nicholson, a sophomore. You have Passione, a sophomore. Then you have the juniors, Martini, and then the 8th grade Martini. So as much as they're really talented right now, this Wantagh team is kind of poised for the future as well.
Yeah, for sure. Good patience here on this set for Wantagh. Good look. Oh, unable to get it out of the stick. And then the physicality from McGloin comes in, and Ulico picks it up.
I love the two-man game. Just couldn't handle it, and then McGloin there to kind of be a physical presence, win that matchup.
And that's one of the keys that Bond stressed, right? The clearing game. They're unable to clear. Look at a quick stick goal in front. Dylan Martini.
This is some high-level shooting right here. First you get the ride back, and I believe it's Jake Martini, so we have our first Martini to Martini goal. So you're going to see this errant pass, and it's not Martini, it's Nicholson, but there's Martini. I thought it was a Martini to Martini goal. And then the backhand, no-look backhand shot by Dylan Martini. That's fantastic.
Listen, the odds are in your favor. If you just say Martini, you're more likely right than wrong, and that one goes off the side netting and out. Third face-off win for Greaves.
Wantagh is so dangerous, right? They get their second goal here, and Greaves, boom, pops it, and they get a fast break. They can turn a 1 or 2 goal lead into a bigger lead very quickly.
Here comes Jake Martini downhill. Draws the slide, as you mentioned. Army bound. Good feed in front. Tough one, though, off the stick of Passione. Low to low. Good save by Grego. And even there, Passion gets the ground ball. Possession stays alive. Off the bar. Jake Martini, so close.
Goalie's best friend right there. It might have hit 2 bars. I think it hit the crossbar and the sidebar. They kind of dodged a bullet.
A happy hour a little bit there for Cold Spring Harbor after 5 o'clock. But again, we stay on this side of the field.
Cold Spring Harbor went offside in the clear, and if you've watched Cold Spring Harbor over the years, this is very uncharacteristic. And Dennis Bond told us this is the frustrating part right now. They're just not doing the little things that they normally do at Cold Spring Harbor.
Dylan Martini, he's got Pisano on him. Here's Ulico defending Passion. Rounds the cage. Low to high. Good save by Grego.
That's a great save. They needed that. Oh, what hustle. Tremendous play by Newman.
Already 6 shots by Wantagh. They lead it 2-0, and another failed clear. And Wantagh kind of gives it right back to him. Good stick check by Carlo, making it difficult. But now Cold Spring Harbor will be able to at least move the ball around a little bit on this side of the field.
I would expect Cold Spring Harbor just to kind of settle this ball a little bit, move the ball around. You feel like they dodged a bullet down here. They had 2 or 3 really good looks. Jake Martini right on top of the cage, hits the crossbar. Clearing has not been easy. My guess is they take the air out a little bit here and try to just calm this down.
And they do so with their second midfield unit. You see Gunnar Anderson just passing off to Dylan Riley. Nice move by Riley. Fires it high and wide.
This is a good second midfield for Cold Spring Harbor. Gunnar Anderson's excellent. He's a really good player. They invert him a lot. Riley is really bouncy in there. This is a good group, and then you have Brady McKean. So they got a nice second midfield here.
Riley picks it up off the carpet. Anderson wants the ball.
Yeah, Wantagh does a good job of pushing out and kind of just disrupting the flow of this offense. I think they want Anderson to go, but Wantagh does a good job of shutting him off.
Little hitch, low shot. Conklin the save. Conklin out of his cage. And this is what Cold Spring does. This is part of their DNA, right? The ride.
Yeah, good job there. And I like the way Conklin just kind of kept his composure. Running out of the cage, not one of his strong points, but he can move in there, and he does a nice job of getting his hands free and moving the ball.
Martini picked off.
Numbers.
Flag as well. We'll have our first man-up opportunity for Cold Spring Harbor.
Yeah, really nice play by Sam Davis there to pick off the pass. And I think you're going to get a multiple-minute penalty here, and it's probably going to be locked in.
Yeah, it will be. We'll follow this to the table, but this is going to be a cross-check to the head. So we're going to have a 1 minute locked in.
Yeah, little surprised it wasn't multiple minutes, but yeah, let's hope Davis is okay. This was a great play by him. They were trying to get it cross field to Jake Martini, and he read it all the way, almost like a free safety, and jumped the pass.
So TJ Carlo in for a minute. Good applause there as well, as you see Sam Davis up off the ground. So listen, you've struggled to clear. You're down 2-0. This is that window of opportunity that they need to capitalize on, Cold Spring Harbor.
Absolutely. This is a good man-up unit. They got, Mazzi on one side as a shooter. They got Bauer on the other. You get one here, and that slow start doesn't feel so slow.
Here's Bruno up top. Quick ball movement, step down shot off the pipe.
Great offense there. Good ball movement. Bruno with a good step down, good opportunity. Just rings it off the pipe. No rush here, no shot clock, 60 seconds on the penalty, so they have time.
Yeah, 33 seconds on the man up. McGloin trying to get it to Bruno. It's picked up by Anderson. Bruno. 12 seconds on the man up. Low to high. Saved by Conklin to deny Bauer.
Great save by Conklin. Just in the right position there, hugging that pipe. Really the only spot Bauer could shoot.
So final seconds of this man up for Cold Spring Harbor. We're even. Bauer. Bouncer wide.
Nice job by Wantagh fighting off the penalty. That could feel like a long minute when you're on defense. They did a good job. All the shots from the outside, Conklin up to the task.
Now, if you're Cold Spring Harbor, even though you don't get a goal there, Tom, maybe you get a little consistency, little movement, little motion, little flow on the offense here.
When you're an offensive guy, you like touches. You want touches early, and there you go.
And Testa gets one. Getting the pass, look like from Anderson, goes low to low.
I think Anderson is like the X factor for this Cold Spring Harbor team. I think I mentioned before they like to invert him. He's inverted here. Does a good job. He's two-handed, so you kind of have to respect which way he's going to go. Does a nice job. He draws the slide, and then Testa's got a great release. Beats Conklin to the far side.
Yeah, for Testa, goal number 7 for the freshman. And you're right about Anderson. Maybe it's because he missed all of last year with the ACL injury, right? And a soccer guy as well, missed the soccer season. So he hasn't been out there a lot, right? You don't have a book on him, but you see his size and his ability as well as another face-off win for Wantagh.
I almost get the feeling that Cold Spring Harbor is kind of easing Gunnar Anderson back into it. It's a long season. Why kind of get him out there too often? Let that knee kind of get comfortable. But he is somebody that they need to get going.
Quinnipiac commit as well, Gunnar Anderson. There's Mike Giacobello, the sophomore. Good movement here for Wantagh. Jake Martini works off the pick. Little pick and pop action and patience by the Warriors.
Yeah, Wantagh running a lot of two-man stuff on both sides. Obviously, Martini's on one side, and then you have Giacobello and Loftman, but Cold Spring Harbor is going to try to lock off Jake Martini, which is not a bad idea. Just leaves a lot of space in the 5x5, 5-on-5 behind it.
What Wantagh doesn't have is really depth, right? That's the one knock, if you will, against them. They don't really have like a full second midfield line. They run 2 more guys. They got a few D-middies as well.
Yeah, so if you're Cold Spring Harbor, you're trying to make these guys really work and tire themselves out. It's a long game, and they get a throwaway there.
But now if you're Cold Spring Harbor, right, you've got to clear the ball. It's been difficult this season, this quarter as well.
It has. And Wantagh does a nice job here. They're gonna force them to really have to find open guys, which has not been the specialty.
It looks kind of like that deep ride like we see from St. Anthony's. We've done a few of their games. As Cold Spring Harbor will get the clear. Stepping in is Rex O'Connor. That's his job. And he's as difficult as it's been for Cold Spring Harbor to clear, he's been excellent at it.
Yeah, Rex O'Connor is a guy they love. He can run it out in a set clear like that. He does a good job of finding a little space, and Grego with a good pass.
Inside the final minute now of the first quarter, and Cold Spring Harbor, Tom, suddenly they've got a chance to maybe go out even going into the second quarter. Nice move from X, and another save by Conklin.
Right now, Wantagh is double polling the midfield, so they're polling McGloin and Bauer, and left Mozzie that time with the short stick, and this time it's Burns with the shorty.
A good head fake on that attempt by Burns, and Wantagh wins the foot race. So 33 seconds, and the Warriors maybe with a chance to extend their lead here. Here's Carlo. It's Luke Martini. There's nothing that you see from Luke Martini out there right now, Tom, that screams 8th grader. Like, he is so much bigger and poised than his age. Jake Martini with the pass. And that shot off the mark. 10 seconds left.
Good spot for Passione right here. He's dynamic and can go either way. Like to see some cutting. Good shot.
Yeah, step down by Nicholson.
Passione is so comfortable behind the cage. He's got great vision. And Nicholson is going to just slide to a spot. And you see Passione here, a little hop step. No hesitation there. Just right at his man, and then finds Nicholson for the goal.
So Passione, assist number 22 on the season. And Nicholson, goal number 11. And this is how, listen, it's the fastest game on 2 feet, right? And you go from Cold Spring possibly tying it, and now it's back to a 2-goal lead for Wantagh and back to the edge that you have at X, as that'll be the 5th face-off win of 5 attempts for Will Greaves at the X. So Wantagh, the Warriors, listen, they're getting done on the offense, but they're also getting it done, Tom, on the defensive side as well. King Conklin with a denial.
Yeah, the big fella.
Wantagh, 2-goal lead after the first 12 minutes. You're watching it all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, flag football, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
His mom calls him Kyle, but he's known around here as King. King Conklin, the senior, 5 first-quarter saves. Tom Roney to really set the tone here for the Warriors.
Cold Spring Harbor got some great opportunities. They got some great looks, and Conklin was in the right place at the right time basically every time. And he's that big frame, and he's got good hands. Got a kick save in there, shows good feet.
Well, the sophomore Gianni Pissarro was in the cage. Conklin was out injured. His first game back was the Lynbrook win just a couple games ago, as Greaves, another face-off win. But good job defensively for Cold Spring Harbor. But now Grego's got to get out of his cage. And we did hear a pretty animated team talk, if you will, from Cold Spring Harbor after a first quarter that, listen, statistically it might not say so, but you'd say they were dominated in that first quarter.
I thought so, Dylan. I felt like Wantagh had so many good opportunities and obviously won every face-off. Cold Spring Harbor almost lucky to be down 3-1. But you see right there, Timmy Pisano with a great back check after the face-off loss, and that's how they're going to have to do it.
Burns tried to feed it across and actually deflected off of Conklin. And now you think these guys practice this a lot against the ride. You go pole, you go goalie to pole, back to pole on the far side. And they still have to get it across. And Conway, did they get a timeout? I think Wantagh called timeout. You see the number 22 there for Conway. Special number, Tom, around these parts. It's for Scott DeVerna. Wantagh lacrosse player, sadly in 1999, this summer, going into his junior year, died in his sleep. And the idea, well, like this, he would have been the top midfielder on their lone state championship team a couple years later. So the idea was Wantagh wanted to vote before the first scrimmage for a senior to wear that. Doesn't have to be the best lacrosse player, but it has to be a guy who wants to work hard, who's a great teammate, and that's the case certainly for Conway, a guy who we know from last year missed with an ACL injury. He's back, but you see the brace as well. He's battling a meniscus this year, but a guy who's done everything he can to get back onto the field. A great tribute for Conway, and of course keeping Scott DeVerna's legacy alive.
Wantagh is a community that really supports their high school athletics, and I love the fact that this is a really important number to this program, and it probably means a lot to Scott DeVerna's friends and his family, you know, who had such a tragedy back in 2001. And for us to even talk about it probably, you know, makes them happy. And Conway is the right guy, right? Somebody who's overcome adversity and the coaches love and his teammates love, and they voted for him.
Yeah, last year it was Anthony Sakos, who's now at LIU, and Sean Carlo the year before. He's at Stony Brook. Then you had Brendan Martin, he's not even playing lacrosse anymore, but he grew up on the same block as DeVerna, knows the family. So it was important for him as well to wear it. And another thing about the 22 is guys who don't even wear it for Wantagh, because it's voted on for one person, they want to wear it in college as well. Right. So to kind of keep that going, as there's a flag that is thrown. So it looks like Cold Spring Harbor will have their second man-up opportunity.
Get a good look at McGloin here. Look at this. Look at
this.
this.
The contact, Conklin, the denial, and nearly rolled back into his own net.
It starts with McGloin picking up a ground ball all the way basically in front of the crease, in front of Grego, in traffic, and that's the stuff that he does all the time, which makes him a great player. And then just watch, you're going to see it right here, get a little pile up. He always seems to find the ball, and now he's got to go about 80 yards the other way, Dylan, right? And you see...
Watch him lower the shoulder as well.
I love this. I love the way, I don't know if we're going to see it, but he finishes that with, I'm going to the cage, right? And he put his shoulder down, got a good shot off, and Conklin with the save.
So Nicholson in, 1 minute slash. Second man-up opportunity for Cold Spring Harbor, 0 for 1 on that locked-in one as McGloin to Bauer.
Last time they ran two inside, and they got a couple good looks for Bauer. There's Bauer again. Good closeout right there.
Tough skip. It did take a deflection, so it's going to stay with Cold Spring Harbor.
Nice ground ball by Coach McDermott down there.
30 seconds left and the man up. Got to love, too, Tom, one of the schools here, Wantagh, they've got the penalty time on the scoreboard like Cold Spring Harbor does as well. So we're able to kind of give you that without guessing. Low to high opportunity by Burns.
The Wantagh man-down group is doing a great job right now. It's a very long group, Dylan. It feels right, like their sticks are up in passing lanes. They actually are playing five wide rather than one inside. They're all kind of helping inside.
And look at Bauer. Took like 2 or 3 stutter steps. The slide didn't come, so buries the man-up goal. So big one for Cold Spring Harbor. They're 1 for 2 on the man-up, and Bauer gets on the board.
Yeah, Bauer, the Michigan committee, just kind of slides between two defenders, and neither one really knew who was going to pick him up. Somebody's got to pick that guy up. Bauer can really shoot it.
His 8th goal of the year. He's a junior. A guy played a lot in the attack last year when Hayden Calabretta got injured early in the season. But a guy who Bond says is just so smooth, has a great understanding of the game as well, and now the 7th face-off win for Greaves.
Greaves is excellent, able to handle the pressure there. I think Pisano surprised him the last time. He wasn't going to make the same mistake, protected his stick well. got the ball out.
And you wonder, and it's nothing against Bruno certainly, right? But you wonder, at one point, is it soon? Do you maybe pull at the face-off X and just try to muck it up and use your wings? And another Martini.
I'm getting the feeling that Dylan Martini only shoots backhanded underhand shots. That is awesome. You know, really the goal here, Dylan, watch, you know, Jake has the ball. Watch him slide into this open space. Right here, the backdoor cut, and then all-in-one motion. That is really good stuff. That's probably a backyard play, right?
You would think. Like, I would take the Martinis if you're playing like 2-on-2, 3-on-3. I'm probably taking the Martinis against anybody else on the block.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll tell you right now, they're about as good as it gets, the three brothers.
Well, two brothers, one cousin.
Oh, right. Sorry.
But you're right. You know, and then like if you're Dylan and Jake, you're like, hey, we got Luke coming. He's just an 8th grader, so take it easy on him.
Right.
And then you see what he does. Coming downhill, another one rang off the pipe hard by Jake Martini. And actually was beneficial for Cold Spring Harbor.
They have numbers here.
Another one!
Crossbar.
And this one might leave the facility.
Good end-to-end action. Martini on one end, gets his hands free, hits the crossbar. Rebound out to Bauer. Runs down the field, one pass to McKeon. He hits the crossbar. That's great action.
And a flag, I think too many on for Wantagh, so they'll just keep that extra defender out there, right? Why not? So they'll go down for a 3rd time. There's Mozzie kicking it back out to McGloin. So a free possession here for Cold Spring Harbor. It's Bauer. And now behind for Gunnar Anderson. I'll tell you, they've got some guys, Tom, who like the weight room. You could tell, right? Gunnar Anderson being one of them.
Yeah, he's put together. I mean, at Quinnipiac commit, he looks like he's ready to play college lacrosse right now.
Bruno, the quarterback of the football team, another guy in McGloin. Switches hands, and Conklin makes the save. His 7th of this first half.
Last time Cold Spring Harbor had a man up, I thought Wantagh did a great job early, and that minute kind of weared him down. Here's McGloin. This is a tough spot when you're playing 6-on-7, but, you know, I like seeing McGloin. They need him to be aggressive. He's an excellent player. He needs to be aggressive for them to be successful. He's got to do more of that, more shooting, more dodging.
So this is a 32nd man up for Cold Spring Harbor, 1 for 2 with the extra attacker. Last time it was that man right there, Bauer. Low to high, great save by Conklin to deny McGloin.
Great shot, better save. Conklin read that. That's not an easy save, that low to high shot. And it was off stick too.
And there's a punt return clear by the pole. Credit to Patrick Forthifer.
Nice job by the Wantagh man down unit again. Good clear by Forthifer, and you know you're in a situation. They haven't played as much offense as they have in the first quarter. You dodged a couple bullets, and you know, let's see if we can get back to some Martini to Martini stuff. Maybe get Passion behind.
Well, here is Jake. Back to Passion. Off the screen. Great feed indeed. And Nicholson with the finish.
I think Passion heard me.
Is that Mike live?
Yeah. Great job. When Martini has the ball, he tends to get a lot of eyes on him. That's
sure.
Great players always do. You can see guys just looking at him. And Passion takes advantage. Look at the head up, two-handed, and Nicholson just really smart. Cutting off ball, understanding there's a back door there somewhere. And Passion puts it right on his stick.
Yeah, Passion fast, agile, great lacrosse IQ, lefty, righty, good hands. Greaves loses the lid.
I think we go AP here, the alternate possession.
So Wantagh ball. It's Loftman. Another sophomore, and a big-bodied one at that.
Loftman's a good player, big kid. You know, he's got to be about 6'2", about 185, 190 already as a sophomore. They have a nice balance of lefties. Here's Nicholson again. There's Loftman.
And when he gets the chance, he can let it rip. And we know Jake Martini's ability certainly switches hands.
I like offenses that have this kind of balance where you have lefties on one side, righties on the other. Nice save by Grego.
And that overhand shot, and look at the aggressive ride as well. And
great timeout.
A very good timeout indeed.
Coach Bond sensed he was in trouble and bailed him out. That's a good timeout. They need a possession.
So the Long Island Metro Lacrosse Foundation, the mission is to spread the positive spirit of lacrosse and support the highest ethical standards for all participants through annual initiatives, including targeted grants, scholarship programs, lacrosse education, clinics, and events to raise awareness and resources in support of the game. And Tom, listen, we know whether it's in the summertime, it's not just on the high school level, it's all levels of lacrosse. You see some of the shootout for soldiers. What an unbelievable program that is, you know, and you've got the Hall of Fame outreach programs, Lax Like a Girl tournament. It goes on for the Long Island Metro Lacrosse Foundation.
Long Island's known as one of the hotbeds, and it's, you know, been one of the major sports lacrosse has on Long Island for a long time, but it's important to keep growing. You know, to keep getting into communities that maybe don't have the youth league like a Wantagh or a Cold Spring Harbor, and let everybody get a chance to play this great game. And this is an unbelievable game. You know, I love it. I think you and I are similar. We love football, we love basketball, but there's something special about Long Island high school lacrosse game in the spring.
And also, it's a mantra from the highest level, right? USA Lacrosse. What's the big slogan, right? Grow the game.
That's right.
And even in a hotbed, you can still grow the game.
Absolutely. There's always a chance to give back, and they do a great job, the Long Island Metro Foundation.
So off the timeout, off a clear, an opportunity now for Cold Spring Harbor. Down by 3. And they're not a team this season that's been built to put up big numbers offensively, at least not to this point. So here's Bruno. So it feels, Tom, like an important possession.
It does, and I think it started with a nice clear, and I think that's got to be a little confidence, maker for them right there, and a good shot right there by Anderson or Bruno.
Bruno, yeah, and the roll back. And there's Anderson to bring it back into play. And you wonder, too, if this is a guy who didn't get the ACL injury, maybe he's running with the first minute. And honestly, maybe he will anyway. He's that kind of a dynamic player.
Yeah, right now I think you have a group of Cold Spring Harbor kids that are all really good. They're just trying to find a way to play with each other. And you see it right there with the throwaway, the uncharacteristic turnover. They'll figure it out.
But did you see the first thing that Anderson said? Guys, come on. We got to ride now.
Yeah.
And a huge hit at midfield. And a timeout was called by Wantagh as...
Timeout?
Yeah, you got to give some credit there for Cold Spring Harbor's Kevin Burns, right? That's an attackman laying it out at midfield and forcing the timeout.
Yeah, right here. You're going to see you get... Burns and Gunnar Anderson kind of combining there, and then right here they get the timeout before he gets in trouble.
So this is a fun one here in the Power Conference of Nassau County and Tom some big games ahead. And listen, all you got to do is look to
Is there a big game tomorrow?
tomorrow. Yes, the 140th Wood Stick Classic. What I love about what we're doing this year is we're going to have the girls' game followed by the boys' game, right? So there might not be that rich history of 139 previous games between the girls. But listen, they get after it. Two teams that are really, really good. So that's 4 o'clock for the girls. Robin, Rooney, and I on the call for that one. And Soap comes in at 7 o'clock, the 140th. How about this, Tom? Last 2 years on the road, overtime winners. Now listen, I think it's super cool, right? If you get an overtime winner at home, right? You're in front of your boys, in front of your friends and family. But when you do it at the arch rival on the road, that's next level.
That's special.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if anyone thought that those teams were going to have sort of a rebuilding year, they were sadly mistaken. They're both really good again, and that's going to be a great game.
Yeah, you're missing maybe some of the rock stars of the last few years, right? Cal Gerard, Stevie Fennell, and the like. But listen, you want high-level, hard-nosed, get after it lacrosse. You're going to have that tomorrow under the lights too, which adds the extra element at Manhasset.
Yeah, that place will be packed. It will be electric.
There's Jake Martini. Martini, 3 assists in the first half. Dennis Bond says, sometimes I think he's a little too unselfish. And look at this, a little Harlem Globetrotter look for Wantagh. And the finish. It was a pretty setup, and Luke Martini makes sure. Puts the olive on top.
What a great offense, and nice job by the Wantagh staff coming out of the timeout. They take their time and they run this little weave, and you're going to see some just some little handoffs here, and they throw the ball around, and eventually it's going to make its way to Carter Loftman. Does a really nice job of playing with his head up here, and he's going to find Luke Martini inside with just a snipe. Great offense.
Luke Martini, goal number 23. Greaves has not lost a face-off today.
I'm impressed also with the way Greaves, handles the ball, his awareness, clearing it. There's just such a calmness about him. And that's what I was talking about in the opening, Dylan. This team, it seems to have all the pieces.
Yeah.
When you're built up the middle, you talk about that in baseball, right, with catching and pitching and shortstop, center field. When you have a goalie and a face-off guy and a big-time midi like Martini, and then the attack with guys like Passione and the Martinis, you are loaded.
And even there, right, where Jake Martini kind of blows a tire, no worries, right? We're winning the ball back.
Yeah, good athletic group, great anticipation, and usually that's the case with ground balls. Guys see that coming, and they understand where the ball's going to be popping out.
Yeah, Tom, we said in the open, like around this time, some teams have like 10 games played. You're around the 8 to 10 game mark, halfway through the season. You get an idea sort of what teams look like and sort of the landscape, right? And you have that feeling similar to a feeling you have of Southside and the B, but you have that feeling that, this could be that team in Class C, or maybe perhaps should be that team in Class C this year.
Yeah, I don't think there's a spot on the field that they don't have the pieces that can make a run at it. And even, you can see they're a very poised team. There's no panic. They look like a group of kids that have grown up together, that trust each other. They move the ball well, super unselfish. And if you're Cold Spring Harbor, this feels like a spot where you cannot give up a goal. You do not want to go into the half, especially with the way Greaves is playing at the faceoff act. You don't want to go down 5.
Here's Jake Martini. We were saying a moment ago, sometimes maybe too unselfish. That time went for it, and Grego makes the low save.
Now Cold Spring Harbor's got to clear this ball, an area where they've struggled a little bit.
And that's not going to get it done. TJ Carlo after it. McGloin, though, does end up picking it up, and Cold Spring Harbor, they'll get that second timeout. An opportunity now, Tom, with 18 seconds left to maybe draw something up and, maybe a 2-goal swing, right? You were staring at 7-2, and maybe now you can go in 6-3.
This could be a huge possession for Cold Spring Harbor. Another ground ball by McGloin, who always seems to come up with a big ground ball when they need it. And, I think the halftime would feel a lot different, Dylan, if they were able to get a score right here.
Take a look at the huddle for Cold Spring Harbor. Dennis Bond drawing something up here. And, man, you talk about one of the more tradition-laden sides. Look at all those numbers, right? 14 Nassau championships, 6 Long Island. If they win the Long Island, they're winning the state, right? They've done that 6 times. You see all the All-Americans as well. 35 of them, and 21 guys currently playing multiple levels collegiately. And the program as a whole, 710 all-time wins.
When I got my first head coaching job, one of the first things I did was call Dennis and ask to scrimmage. I wanted to hear him coach, and I wanted to watch his players and listen to just how that whole thing was handled in the preseason, and I wound up doing it year after year. He runs a great program. Those are unbelievable numbers.
Here's McGloin. He already has a buzzer beater. It was a winner, but Conklin makes the save.
McGloin just runs right by him. Conklin with a great save.
His 10th unofficially here of this first half. That'll bounce behind, but as time expires. So listen, Conklin getting it done in the cage. You've won every face-off, and you've got multiple martinis involved in the attack. I think that all adds up to this, a 4-goal lead. And listen, you're blue collar here, but also you can do it pretty as well. And Wantagh as Martini, shaken, not stirred. 4-goal lead for Wantagh, halftime on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Dante does it
Terrific
again!
Defensive play. Dante Zadaro.
Illico ties it up.
Move by Yeso steps up and score.
The jump shot for Nell.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, flag football, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Looking to grow your business on social media? Let Varsity Media help you. With over 50,000 followers across our platform, sponsor a segment during the broadcast and share it on social media the next day. It's the best of both worlds, as you'll get thousands of plays and your ad will live on the broadcast forever. Contact us today for sponsorship packages by calling 917-470-0864 or emailing varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com. Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Varsity Media is offering a video folder that you can customize to meet your needs. A photo of your athlete can be elegantly placed in the front panel. Essential statistics with a biography can be printed on the inside panel, and videos can be downloaded and viewed on an LCD screen for as long as 2 hours. The attractive video folder can be placed on a coffee table and instantly becomes a conversation starter. Order your video folder today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click Catalogs, or give us a call at 516-403-2050. When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus, here's the best part. Your ad lives forever on our YouTube page. And with a large on-demand audience, it's a grand slam to advertise with Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Dante! Does it
Terrific
again!
Defensive play. Dante Zadaro.
Jellicoe! Ties it up!
Yes,
and score.
A jump shot for Nell.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, flag football, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Dylan Butler, Tom Rooney, and Tom, even good boys love some good lacrosse out here in Wantagh. They're just prancing around, right, enjoying the first half.
He's a Wantagh dog. He's prancing around, yeah.
I figured that could be a great setup, right? Any of those errant lacrosse balls that,
Oh, that's what they call an English cream golden retriever. So he's going to get him.
Look at you.
Sure. Yeah.
You're ready for the dog show. What a first half it was for Wantagh as we take a look at some of the first half stats real quick. And I think off of 3-man-up opportunities, you see the numbers skewed shot-wise for Cold Spring Harbor. 10 big saves for King Conklin in the cage. But look at the face-off numbers. Every face-off that Will Greaves took, he won.
Yeah, the two things that jump out at me is Will Greaves at the face-off X, just possession after possession for Wantagh. And then when Cold Spring Harbor has had the ball, they've had some good looks, and Kyle Conklin has made every save he's had to save.
And then another one for Greaves. And you know what, too? He's not even allowing the wings to get involved. And there's good wings for Cold Spring as well, but when you win it the way Greaves has, and now he just kind of pinballs off a couple dudes, and he will come off when it's safe to do so.
Yeah, that's a great point, Dylan. Often face-off guys have trouble controlling that ball off of the draw, and he's in total control.
In that sense, that's something that, we're going to have Garden City Manhasset tomorrow as slow shot, 5-hole. Passion, his second.
Passion does a great job here, and you're going to see the replay. He catches this ball from Martini, and so many Wantagh plays start with Martini with the ball. When he throws back to X, you're going to see the defender just anticipate him pushing opposite, and he goes right back against and just finishes with his left hand. Great job by Passion.
2-2 for the sophomore. Passion, as we go back, the face-off X, and was going to say, and this is maybe the ultimate good thing to say here for Greaves, as he'll attempt a pole goal, is I was just about to say, the way that he shows different things and make sure that he has control of it, similar to what we've seen for a couple years from Cal Gerard when he was at Manhasset.
Very similar. Cal was excellent at putting the ball into the space where he knew he would be the first guy there, and Greaves right now is in a similar mode. He is putting it exactly where he wants, and there you see him handle the pressure and get a great shot off.
11 for 11 for the Adelphi-bound Fogo. That's a good get for Adelphi.
He's phenomenal.
Here's Martini. Excuse me, got to say Jake, with multiple Martinis out there. A 7-2 lead for the Warriors. It's Jake Martini picking it up. We mentioned that special number 22. Well, Jake Martini, this was the closest race or vote that they've had in years. That's because Jake Martini was right there as the number 2 option, right? He would have been a terrific one for 22, that's for sure. And this time, a great low finish. I mean, that is something special, Tom.
This is not easy to do. Jake Martini's going to his left, and he comes back to his right hand for a low-to-low shot to the opposite pipe. This is why you're a big-time Division I recruit. You see Passion, get it to him on this wing. He just drop steps, opens his hips, and puts it to the far pipe. It's a big-time shot.
And then Selly kind of was like, "Are you not entertained?"
Gotta love the gladiator Selly.
Look at this. Another for Greaves.
And if you're Cold Spring Harbor, this is kind of a hopeless feeling. You need a stop, and right now they're shooting the ball excellent. Passione and then Jake Martini, and Greaves isn't giving you any opportunities. They literally have not touched the ball now the entire third quarter. Wantagh has this mojo. Can't you feel it, Dylan? There's just a tremendous amount of confidence. These guys just have a sense of where each other are. They move the ball well. A lot of assisted goals. Good balance. You see Nicholson and Loftman here, the two lefties on one side. Right over to the other side. Now it's Martini and Martini. Ball just keeps going from side to side, and then when they have to, they get it behind to Passione.
Now he's got his defender hung up. So Passione rounds the cage. Pretty goal for Devin Passione, his third of this game. That was a clinic.
That was tremendous 6-on-6 offense in the box. Back and forth, testing each side, and then Passione understanding that Pisano needs to pick a side at some point, and he just willing to come around with his left hand. I said in the opening he's a two-handed player, but that's a lot of confidence for a sophomore to just keep going to is his offhand, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's his offhand, but it is.
And then the slide is late as well. And it's now rinse and repeat for the Warriors. A year ago, 13-6 for Wantagh. That included 3 one-goal losses. Ultimately, their season ended to Manhasset 15-9 in the Nassau Class C final. And you lost some talented guys from that team, Sakos to LIU and Andrew Zakani to Hartford. Nice pickoff by Bennett Vitigliano.
They have numbers here. They got a trailer in Newman. Wisely,
Well, that's what you want to get. You want to get the McGloin, right?
Yep.
So Bennett, a guy who's not been on the field a lot lately, maybe earned himself some more playing time there.
Yeah, great job. Gets a stick in the passing lane, gets a turnover, exactly what Cold Spring Harbor needs.
So two kind of lopsided losses last year to Manhasset. Obviously, this is a different Manhasset team this year, but also, a team that's in Class B, right? And Southside's now in Class B as well. So you've got a Garden City, Southside, Manhasset all battling there, and here's Wantagh, a team that's battle-tested, that has a bunch of guys back from last year, great balance. So yeah, why not kind of consider them the favorite this year to win their second county championship?
Dylan, I believe that you have to learn how to win. 3 one-goal losses last year, it really hardens a team, right? And you could see this group looks like they have figured it out, and they're all a year older, and defensively they're buttoned up. I mean, it's hard for Cold Spring Harbor to get a good shot off, and when they do, Conklin has been there every time.
Yeah, they started this season losing 2 of their first 3, including another 1-goal loss out at Bayport Blue Point. And that's a good goal for Cold Spring Harbor. Give it to Kevin Burns.
Yeah, they're double pulling the midfield, so one of the attackmen back there, and it's been Burns a lot, has had the short stick, and he does a really good job here of going to his left and beating Conklin low. Kind of gives him a little head fake high, shoot low, nice finish. If you're Cold Spring Harbor, that feels huge just to get a possession and then to get a goal off it.
Yeah, Burns starting strong safety on the football team. A kid who's, as a junior, growing into his body, but a physical kind of dodger as well. And look at this, first face-off win for Cold Spring Harbor.
There you go. I mean, if you're Cold Spring Harbor, listen, high school lacrosse is funny, Dylan. You and I have done a lot of games. 5-6 goals is not insurmountable by any means. You know, when Will Greaves is in a groove, it feels that way. But now all of a sudden you get one, you get a goal, you get another one right here. You know, maybe you build some momentum and you change the whole feeling of this game.
That was after 13 straight faceoff wins for Will Greaves. And here's Gunnar Anderson.
You got the second middies in for Cold Spring Harbor. The first middies have played a ton of defense, so I like this. They're fresh. You give these guys a chance to come out with fresh legs. It also gives Wantagh a little bit of a different look.
Look how long Carlo is with the pole, right? Like, he looks like he's 7'2".
He's really good. I saw he's an Ithaca commit, and first thing I thought to myself is they have to be absolutely pumped that he is going to Ithaca. I mean, he looks to me like a Division I pole.
He's now got Anderson. Little poke, and Anderson pushes it back up top to Riley. They'll swing it to McKean on the far side. McKean's got the short stick matchup, gets top side, low shot, and King Conklin gets low to make the save. And look at the ride back by McKean.
And you're going to get maybe an offsides? No, not yet. They got numbers, though.
Oh, another great save by Conklin. This time denying Burns. Loose ball. It's going to be a push. And we're staying with Cold Spring Harbor.
That whole action started with a great save by Conklin. Great outlet. And nice job by Cold Spring Harbor to keep fighting. Rode it back. Not easy to take the ball away from Jake Martini. Second middies, we talked about their fresh legs. They were ready on that.
Yeah, huge credit to Brady McKean. Football, basketball, tough, rugged, downhill kind of kid. The junior won that back. Riley tries to go high. He stung the bar. Where are we going? It's going to stay with Cold Spring Harbor.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that Conklin didn't get a little piece of that, Dylan, before it hit the bar. And Cold Spring Harbor, again, goes to the invert and gets a good look off of it.
Here's Burns.
Nice job by Cold Spring Harbor off the restart, getting their first middies back on the field and keeping Wantagh's defenders on, so they should be fresh and ready to go.
McGloin off the side net, and look at that. A late flag. That came on the hit, so another man-up opportunity for Cold Spring Harbor.
McGloin was able to get under, and it looked like Ianella might have just got him a little high. McGloin here, who's a lefty, is going to get underneath and come back to his right hand, and Ianella slides up here. And, yeah, you know, that's probably one a few years ago, Dylan, that doesn't get called. But, you know, nowadays they're going to call it.
So Ianella 1 minute on the elbow. It's the fourth man up opportunity for Cold Spring Harbor. They're 1 for 3.
We talked earlier about this Wantagh man down. Look how stretched they are. They, you know, Carlo in there is so long. They got their sticks up. It's given Cold Spring Harbor a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, where you would think you'd have more room, it doesn't really feel like that, right?
Right. Here's Bauer.
Bauer, nice switch to the left. Bauer's bouncer. And Conklin, another save.
Conklin over. Oh, Conklin's got to have 12, 13 saves, I would think. At this
Yeah,
point.
he had 10 in the first half, as that one is off the mark by Anderson. 27 seconds remaining in the man up.
This feels big for Cold Spring Harbor, right? You got to score here, 6 on 5, cut this lead down.
Bauer in the first half was able to split defenders and score on the man up.
Inside Testa.
Bouncer off the mark. Good look in there by McGloin.
Yeah, Testa with a good look. You know, that's the Conklin factor, though. He's so big in the cage. Testa's trying to put it into a bottom corner because of Conklin's size.
As you mentioned, also the added difficulty of the fact he's a lefty, right, as McGloin fires off the mark, and we're even.
Yeah, great penalty kill by Wantagh. And Cold Spring Harbor got some good looks there. They did. They ran out, I think, a good set. got some good looks, just couldn't finish.
One thing is certain, right, Tom, is these guys have been defending for a really long time because it was a long stretch even before that penalty.
That's right. You had the ride back and then a couple shots that they backed up, so they have been out there a long time.
Anderson gets eaten up. And
Numbers.
now an opportunity for Wantagh. Some numbers. Oh, what a goal! Jack Dankenbrink.
You run the 5-on-4 drill in practice all the time, and you talk about a trailer. And Jake Martini, watch him just pull this defender just enough, and Dankenbrink steps in with everything he has off stick. Absolute laser.
Dankenbrink, goal number 2 on the season. His main job is a clearing midi. Well, he did that and more. Certainly the Malloy commit, a big goal for Wantagh.
It is a big goal for Wantagh, and here comes Greaves.
Tic-tac-toe. Back to back for the Warriors as Dylan Martini gets the goal.
I mentioned much earlier in the game how quickly Greaves can turn a lead, just up a notch, right? And he pitches, pops again, but Passione has the point, comes to the ball, really good job. Martini right into the corner. That's how you run it.
Dylan Martini, goal number 3 on the game. Passione, assist number 3 on the game. And now 11-3 in favor of Wantagh. This faceoff will go to Cold Spring Harbor. And here's McKean lowering the shoulder. McKean, Testa!
Well, that's a great response by Cold Spring Harbor. Really impressed with McKean right there, right? Just
100%.
I mean, running down the field here, just accelerating by the Wantagh guys, and great job of understanding where he was on the field, runs through a couple checks, and Testa slides behind the defense.
So you're impressed with him, and you mentioned all the technical reasons, right? I'm impressed with him because of the score. We saw the ride back before. This time hustling through the midfield, there's no give up, right? There's no let up. And I think those are things, you're a coach, that's something that when you watch this film, that's going to pop out at you about Brady McKean.
Absolutely, and I think you're 100% right. I think Dennis Bond's going to watch this film and say, this may be a kid we need to get on the field even more. And if you're Cold Spring Harbor, you're trying to build on this. Obviously these guys are not going to see each other in the playoffs. So this is the kind of game where, listen, we're a little outmatched at the face-off X, and they're playing at a really high level. But we can still play well and build on this for our next couple of games. I don't think you're going to see the Cold Spring Harbor guys quit. That's just not in their DNA.
Yeah, it's certainly not. I mean, it's a team battling to find consistency, but they're not going to battle to find that battle level, if you will, right?
Right. And Wantagh smart here, kind of taking the air out of the ball a little bit. No reason to go early. Showing off, good stick skills. And
you mentioned not playing the playoffs. Cold Spring Harbor, a Class D school, and Wantagh in Class C. And, even surveying that landscape, you'd probably say both are favorites to win in their respective classes. It's Class B, I think, that's just all jumbled up right. Class A as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think right now you would look at Wantagh and say they're the favorite in C, and certainly Cold Spring Harbor the favorite in D. The Cold Spring Harbor guys, they don't want to hear that it doesn't really matter, and that's not what I was trying to say. What they want, they want to fight this game, and they understand there's a quarter to go. That man up they had at 9-4, or 9-3, I should say, just feels a little different right now, because after that stop, Wantagh able to get two quick goals and just really change this game.
And one of them just may be our Speed Island Speedy play of the game. We'll let you know that after or at the start of the fourth quarter. Splitting defenders, Passion. Grego came out to challenge. By the time he did, Passion had already put it in the back of the net. Feeling it a little bit there too, the sophomore.
Yeah, took some hits here, but this is really high level. I mean, Timmy Pisano is a really good defender. Two big physical guys, and he just twists and turns, then takes the hit from Grego. Really good job by Passion.
4-3 on the game for Passion. As it's a 12-4 lead now with 5 seconds left. Another face-off win. I think the 15th by our count for Will Greaves, and that does it for the third quarter. A dominant third quarter for the Warriors. And we know, Tom, they have come to play.
Tick, tack, toe. It's great lacrosse.
Perhaps championship winning lacrosse. Wantagh, 12-4 after 3 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus, here's the best part. Your ad lives forever on our YouTube page. And with a large on-demand audience, it's a grand slam to advertise with Varsity Media.
We at the next levels. Back here at Wantagh High School, a next level performance by Wantagh, Dylan Butler, Tom Rooney, our entire Varsity Media crew. And off camera, Tom, we were talking, you know, you've seen Wantagh a bunch of times, and I've watched them filming them as well, and maybe the best version of this team this year that we've seen.
Yeah, here's Greaves again down the middle. Maybe the first mistake we've seen off the face-off.
We jinxed them.
Yeah.
By the way, I have to give a note here. Goalie change for Cold Spring Harbor. In the cage, the freshman, Matt Kamer, number 31.
Yeah, Kamer came on in that Syosset game and did a nice job. And, you know, listen, nothing that Grego could do on most of those goals. He had some really nice saves. Probably smart of Coach Bond to get him out, give the freshman some experience, and you can see he's got some young guys in right now.
And that's a little bit, too, right, of the knock, if you will, in the Power Conference, right, where, you know, you've got opportunities, and not to disparage other teams, right, that you play on your schedule, but there's opportunities to go with young guys, to rest maybe some of your other guys. You don't have that with the Power Conference, right? So now you kind of pick and choose your opportunities to give guys some varsity experience.
Right. It's always important to get young guys in the game. Listen, these guys come out to practice, right, and they grind, and they do everything Coach asks them, and then to not get in the game is always, as a coach, it's frustrating. You want to get them in the game, and I think Coach Bond's looking at this right now, and it's, sort of live to fight another day. You're not going to beat this team. I don't know if people at home understand Cold Spring Harbor is a really good team. This score is lopsided, but it's not because Cold Spring Harbor can't play or doesn't have great players. They have that. Wantagh has just played at a really high level here tonight, maybe the best they've played all year.
If you're trying to kind of look at the future landscape, Bayport Blue Point, a team that's still undefeated in Suffolk County, they're in Class C, and these two teams met. It was a one-goal game, as now King Conklin will leave the cage on the other side, gets a big hug deservedly so, as Gianni Pissarro into the cage now for Wantagh.
No, but you're right. That those two teams and Bayport Blue Point is excellent and balanced like this Wantagh team. You have Morris out there and Aiello and a cast of characters that are really, really good. And you almost feel like these guys, they might have opened up in the first game. They may, they're on a collision course right now.
And you know what Bayport doesn't have, and they've not had for years? A face-off guy. Right? Like you go with one of your better midfielders in there. I think it's Aiello, right? Or Ben Mars does a lot of their facing off.
Yeah, I think you're right, though. I think they both get some draws there. They're both obviously excellent athletes who can do it. Greaves could be an X factor in a game like that. And, we got a little lacrosse ahead of us, right, before we get to that point. But it's fun to kind of speculate. And, this is nice for a lot of these young guys, both coaches doing the right thing here, understanding it's a long season and getting these guys in the game. And, what's great for us is look how hard these guys are playing, right? They don't care what the score is. They're on the field.
And they're playing for minutes.
Yeah.
Like this is an opportunity. Like you could work really hard in practice but still not see your number called on game day. Now it's a chance for these guys to impress in a varsity game.
Yeah, you got Dan Toohey back here with the ball. His older brother Patrick played for me in the summer. He's out at Lehigh right now. Young man who's a sophomore getting his touches, and this is good. I applaud both coaches for understanding the situation and getting their guys in.
Yeah, you saw the two head coaches late in the third quarter kind of meet up at midfield, and I think Dennis Bond kind of saying, listen, here's what we're going to do in the fourth quarter. Obviously a little more depth on the sideline. Great save.
Yeah, Dennis has been on the other side of this a lot, right? We saw the stats before. He's had a lot of teams that, have been, beating people up, and he's always done the right thing, and it's nice to see Coach Polo, recognize that. And, Dennis, nice job by communicating together and, good sportsmanship. And, these guys want to hear Dylan Butler call their name,
Is that why they're going all out?
Oh, they know it's on Varsity Media. You and I both know that.
Well, Wantagh, a team that they've got one county championship, one Long Island championship, one New York State championship. That was that special 2001 season when they ran the table in Class B.
Yeah, one of my first, my very first playoff experience. I was coaching at Hewlett. We came here and played. It was the spring of '99. They had a defenseman, Howley, who went on to play at Maryland. Hey, there you go, Toohey.
And Daniel Toohey goes top shelf. A little bit easier to get over goalie number 2 than goalie number 1 for Wantagh. A little more cage to shoot at.
Yeah.
As he gets over Pissarro there.
Yeah, and good offense by Cold Spring Harbor, and a little dodge and a backdoor cut by Toohey. Does a good job getting to the front of the cage. Good finish. Yeah, that young man is just a little bit behind Kyle size-wise. Lefties too, both lefties, which is interesting, and it's cool for Wantagh, right, to have a senior who's really good and experienced, and now you have this young man behind him who's getting touches. Got touches early in the year with Conklin being hurt, and now getting a chance to get more experience. Bodes well for them in the future.
As you mentioned earlier, depth is not necessarily something that Wantagh has, right? So if there's guys out here that look very familiar, it's only because, there's not too many guys on the bench to choose from.
Right. There's only so many guys, and Wantagh is not a huge school here, right? So the sideline's not overly big. So you got a few guys out there that have played already.
Kamer's a kid, as you see, a good clear there for Cold Spring Harbor. A guy Bond is very high on, said he's going to be very, very good, the freshman. As Toohey wins it back.
Nice ride back. You hear the parents getting excited here.
And another one for Cold Spring Harbor. That's Roger Testa. He's a guy, unfortunately for him, just been banged up. A lot of injuries the last couple of years. So nice for him to get a highlight.
Yeah, I know Roger and the Testa family, really good kids and really good players, and he has been banged up. He's got a great stick, great knack for scoring. I think you'll see in the future Roger, Testa be on the field more and more because he knows how to score the ball.
5 is Sean Ecker for Cold Spring Harbor, and Ecker gets a face-off win. They've been few and far between for the Seahawks.
Yeah, nice job by Ecker. That's got to be exciting. He beat Greaves on that, too.
Trying to catch it at the crease was Tui. A push will keep it here. There's a bit of a yard sale that Dennis Bond goes to clean up.
Yeah, I got a broken stick out there. And if you're Wantagh, this has to feel good. I mean, Cold Spring Harbor is a program that I think a lot of, other programs try to emulate, right? Coach Polo wanted to stay away from that. Like, we're not, Cold Spring Harbor, but you can't ignore the success they've had. And you always know what kind of program they are. And to go out and play the way you did tonight and handle Cold Spring Harbor's offense and handle, their defense, which is always, really, really good under Bond. It says a lot about Wantagh and where they are right now.
You coaches, you'll always find something to critique, so I'm sure when James Polo watches the film, there'll be a couple of things he'll be sure to point out, but largely this is a film where maybe you show the whole game to the guys. You're like, this is how we want to play come late May.
Yeah, he'd be hard-pressed, to find something that he didn't like. Even a few of those penalties were good, aggressive, defensive plays, a little bit high maybe here and there. But this is a complete team. And I was impressed watching him on film, and I come away more impressed.
Another goal for Cold Spring Harbor. Roger Testa with the finish. I think that was Graydon Vitigliano, 28, doing all the work to get the assist.
Yeah, Roger Testa does a nice job. He's always had a knack for scoring, and he had a broken stick, so they actually had numbers, and really good job. Good feed, good little look away, and then nice finish.
So if you're just like a box score watcher, you might be like, wow, look at this. This was a close one.
Right. And I think Coach Polo left Greaves in there just to get his offensive guys some touches, Like, we know we can get you the ball. Just give us a minute. Let Greaves get it. And some guys who maybe hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities to score now are going to get some opportunities.
So Wantagh, inside 3.5 minutes left. There's Jake Martini.
Yeah, and I think you'll see Jake just trying to bleed some clock here. All coaches, they always get a little nervous when they score a couple late goals and things like that. You leave a guy like Jake in because he can run all day, and you know he's going to make a good decision. And my guess is they're probably going to look to somebody who maybe has not scored as much as some other guys.
Looks like you largely have like your ones in there, right? Dylan Martini back in. So maybe there's more, like you were saying, let's possess the ball with our guys who can do that, not necessarily look for the goal, right? But just keep the ball at this point.
Right. We talked about Wantagh looking at the film, and I think if you're Cold Spring Harbor, the score may not indicate, the type of game that they played. I thought Conklin robbed them a whole bunch, and obviously Greaves was so good at the X, you just didn't have as many possessions. But you still can take away some really good things from this game. Bauer, Bruno, and McGloin at the midfield are three really good players, right? And they got some great looks and were able to beat defenders.
To get Brady McKean some some more minutes for the effort that he put in on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I thought Brady McKeon, Dylan Riley, Gunnar Anderson, the second midfield were really good, and McKeon especially kind of popped out at us, Dylan, as he was running down the field. And, if you want to win championships, right, we know there's got to be some depth. There's got to be other guys, and that second midfield could be the other guys.
We know something for sure. Jake Martini is not going to need to do any get on the bike post-game. He's getting his post-game running in now, going from corner to corner of the end zone.
Yeah, I think a lot of West Point, guys, commits, always get a little nervous about the conditioning up at West Point, right? I don't think Jake Martini will have any trouble with it. He seems like he can run all day. If I'm Polo, though, I would rather have somebody else take all these checks. I would be yelling for somebody else. But he
had a nice casual jog a few minutes ago, but now Cold Spring and now Dennis Bond just puts the hands up like let's not even poke the bear here. Let's make the long trip back home.
Just leave it alone.
But what a balanced scoring attack too from Wantagh. You take a look. Devin Passione led the way, 4 goals, 3 assists. Dylan Martini, 3 goals. Joe Nicholson with a pair of goals. Jake Martini with a goal and 4 assists. Luke Martini and Jack Dankenbrink with a goal apiece. And Big King Conklin, just a beast in the cage as well. And let's not forget Will Greaves just dominating the face-off X this afternoon.
Great performance by Wantagh. Starts with Conklin and Greaves, and then, we don't always call that many guys on a score sheet. Really balanced scoring. That's a sign of a really good team.
Greaves 18 for 21 from the face-off X. So really impressive performance from Wantagh. Maybe, as we mentioned, their best of the year. Time now, Tom, for our Speed Island Speedy play of the game. Improve your speed with Onyx Salva and team. Located in Garden City, visit speedislandny.com to book your session today. And this also one of the pivotal moments, Tom, in this game. Cold Spring Harbor just had a man-up opportunity. They had a lot of the ball, but then Wantagh does this.
Yeah, Martini. They get out and run, right? Martini to Dankenbrink with some speed right there. 2 guys flying down the field. They get numbers and they convert.
And that was your Speed Island Speedy play of the game. And then a few seconds later, you add a second one. So they went back-to-back. Dylan Martini with that finish as Wantagh doing an incredible job today, beating Cold Spring Harbor for another home win. Wantagh improves to 6-3 on the season. Cold Spring Harbor falls to 6-4. So that'll do it here from Wantagh High School. For our entire Varsity Media crew, our executive producer, Ben Turchin, technical director, Chris Sweeney, for Travis DeLuise and Larry Caritney, bringing you all the moving images. For my broadcast partner, Tom Rooney, I'm Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from Wantagh High School. We look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.